Good evening and welcome to New York Red Bulls post-match media availability. We're joined by New York Red Bulls head coach Sandro Schwarz. Always use the raise hand function and I'll call you, ask coach a question. First thing I saw was James. James, when I start recording, floor is yours.
Recording in progress.
Thank you, Sandro. Tough one today with that second goal coming in right after the equalizer. Just your thoughts on the performance and what's going on through the guys' heads right now.
Yeah, I think it's really tough to lose this game, and I would say the first half it was we had some moments in the final third where we didn't play clean enough and or didn't take the shot in some moments, and so they had some moments as well. Portland, then we concede too easy the first goal with one situation, our box defending, then there was this header in the corner, and then second half we played very dominant in my opinion, and then some moments, some situations in the final third, and we scored the goal. And for me, to be honest, is then how we lost directly after we scored the goal. These 3-4 minutes, the rhythm of the game, not to create our momentum, and I think this is the important part, to feel the momentum in a game, especially today in this game against Portland. We had in the first half some moments, but when you scored the goal, and then you have to feel the rhythm, you have to feel the momentum, and not then that you lose the focus, that you lose easily the ball, and then they scored the second goal. And we tried then at the end everything. So, but at the end we lost on the road again.
Next, go to Daniel Florenstein.
Sandro, what is the most frustrating thing about this loss that you saw out there? The unforced errors? Was the Carlos's decision-making on that first goal mind-boggling? What was it that just makes you concerned for the rest of the season?
Yeah, you have to be always online. So we have to be always online in the game, 95 minutes, 96 minutes today. So, and especially when you are scoring a goal, especially then, and not to think, okay, we can open everything and we can play high risk or something like that, and then we concede the second goal. And of course the first goal was also too easy, and we have to try so many things in the final third. We have to work so hard against the ball to score a goal, and how we concede the goal in these two moments, it's too easy. It's of course it's a quality of the opponent, individual quality in some moments, but when you see how we concede the goal in Chicago with the penalty situation before we lost the goal, we lost the ball in our own half. How we lost the game against Charlotte, similar situation. How we lost today, similar situation. And we talked a lot about that, and this is what we have to learn, and this is what we need for our development, and then to look forward, and then next. And it's good, to be honest. It's good that we have next week directly the next game on the road, and to give for ourselves the reaction after this loss today.
Next, go to Gary Redmond.
Coach, it seemed on the second goal, seemed like Dylan Niels was a little slow tracking back, trying to keep us from scoring. But you talked about it before, trying to keep the team's head in the game. Is it that much difficult on the road as opposed to at home?
For me, it's not difficult. It's not more difficult than a game in our stadium, especially when you score a goal. So then you have to feel it, okay, and not to think about, okay, the next 3-4 minutes we have to decide the game. So it was, I think, 15 minutes to go in this game, and it was not only Dylan. It was then more situations where we need better behavior, where we need then more to feel the situation, when we can take the risk, especially in the final third, then it's no problem to take the risk, to create momentums, but not in our build-up situation, and then they have a easy transition goal. Normally on the road, you need the transition goals, and not the game, and not the opponent in their home stadium. And this is what we did. We did it in Chicago with the penalty. We did it in Charlotte, and we did it today. And that's too much mistakes than individual where we concede the goal.
Next, we go to Luca Richmond.
Coach, toward the end of the game, we saw you very vocal on the sideline, mainly talking with Noah Isla, but also the rest of the defense and the rest of the team. Can you maybe share what you were telling the guys late on, and what was being shared with them?
Yeah, that was the situation when we pass outside, that we are directly connected, and then to step out with our center backs. And this is what I mean. And it's always in details only. This is not a big problem in some moments where the opponents plays very well and we don't come in our pressure, or we don't have chances, or we don't coming in the final third. But everyone, when we are playing in the final third, when we are outside, so when it's close in the center, then we are going outside, then we want to create an overload situation, but you have to step out as a center back, and that was the situation.
Next, go back to James.
Sandro, you mentioned that the second half was certainly a lot better than the first. At halftime, you made the change to bring on Gustav Berggren and Ronald Donkor. Collectively, what did you see from the two of them in central midfield in the second half versus the first half? And it's really the first bulk of minutes we've seen from Gustav. What did you think of his performance?
Yeah, we need confidence, especially as a six. As a sixth position, you need the confidence with the ball. And it's we played very well against Columbus, but this was then a completely different game against the ball, to be very dominant against the ball, what I said. But when you have these moments, and also in the first half, it was not the highest pressure from the opponent, then you need the confidence every time and we have a clear structure in our build-up, and everything is clear. But then you need this also in some difficult moments, not that we are afraid doing mistakes. No, we have to take the ball and then in a clear position, in a clear to pass in the front foot, and then to pass vertical. And this is what I missed in the first half, and it was in the second half better. But we need this from all our sixers to think vertical.
Go back to Dan.
Sandro, you also subbed in Marcelo Morales for his first MLS match. Obviously, it's a small amount, but maybe next match you might give him a little bit more minutes, possibly, maybe a start. Yeah,
we will see. We have a training week. He has to show us that he wants to play. It's every time the same. It starts with the first team training session, and then you have to show that you are ready. Everyone that he is ready for the next game.
Next, go to Garrett.
The good news is the team is trailing points behind. You got 4 games left. You're going to go to a place where historically won only twice over in Montreal. What are you telling the team going forward to keep at it? Because I see a team that is fighting hard, that's trying hard, but mistakes aside, this is a team that somehow gets on their legs and then somehow gets knocked down through the little mistake. Is it something that you have to remove toward the next game, or try to maintain the focus, or what something that discussed during team training?
You mean us, that we are working hard?
Correct.
For me, working hard, it means also to feel the responsibility when we have the ball. That means for me also to work hard. And of course, I can't say that we didn't try, and we make our runs, we created our moments. But at the end, when we are talking about professional sport, then you have to feel the game, and you have to feel the rhythm in the game. That's important. And when you are playing against the Columbus, okay, then it's most of the time you have to work against the ball very hard. But when you are also like today, or in Charlotte, or in Chicago, the moments you have ball possession to create the moments, then you have also to work hard to keep the focus. It's different. Working hard doesn't mean for me only to run and to run. It means also to keep the focus. That's for me professional. From the mental side, every time to be ready. Okay, what I have to do on my position, and not because when we are losing like this today, then it's not professional enough. It's not professional enough. This is what we have to criticize. Very clear in an open way. That's it.
We'll go back to Luca.
Coach, you're mentioning a lot of the previous losses of the season, a lot of the tactics that have not gone your way. Are you surprised that now 30 games into the season, the squad isn't as synergized as you would like, is not as professional as you're mentioning as you'd like? Or do you see a big growth from your squad?
No, I don't. No, not misunderstand, Luca. I don't say that our group is not professional or something like that. But in some moments, this is then very professional to keep the focus, and to collect the points. And when it's a point on the road, okay, then it's a point on the road. This is also what we have to respect, but not in an open way to play then like what we did today. So and now we have 4 games to go. This is now the next game in Montreal to keep our energy level, which we need every time. But it's also here to be very smart in some moments, especially when we have the ball. It's necessary.
Everyone, we have time for one more question with the coach if anybody has one. If not, we'll let him go about his evening. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time.
Thank you.